Welcome, YouTube friends. Hi, everyone. Excuse me, it's my husband. Well, I'm back. That was my husband. He had a real estate question. A lot of you may not know, but for 25 years, 24 years, well, it's actually been over 25 years, 26 years, I was a top producing realtor in the area where I work, had a large team, and left it because I could not take all the stress from it the last few years with the market going as crazy as it did. And so that was my husband with someone who had a tax issue and about his property, and I was helping him with that. So anyway, let's get on to today's video. So if you remember, last week I told you guys that I was going to do some visible alterations on a few dresses for my shoulder surgery that's coming up. And this is one of them. I have put in snap tape right here. And you can see that it's just two lines sewn together. I took some of my uncle, I had made a memory quilt for my Uncle Bill, and I still have some of his blocks. So I used those because they were jersey fabric, and just made a strip that really shows. And the reason I had it really show is it kind of reminds people that there's something going on with that shoulder. Because at first I'll have my sling on, but when my sling comes off, it's kind of a visual reminder when they see that tape on there that there's something going on with it. So there's one of the dresses that I did. I'm not gonna try to put that on the hanger. Then I did another one. I did this one a little differently. This was like a polo shirt he had. Same concept. I just put the tape on the inside. I matched the very top of the snap on one side and the very top of the piece that it goes into on the other, so that I would know it was the same. Put it together, and that is another dress with a visual reminder not to be messing with my shoulder. Don't grab me by the arm. You know, it's even for my family, because you can just forget when you're around somebody, but as long as I'm wearing these types of garments, they know. And then this is the one for surgery, and I've included a little clip in here as well on how to make a garment shoulder ready for surgery. And with this one, I just put Velcro. But like I said in the clip, if you're gonna use Velcro, I would hang it to dry, because last year I dried it in the dryer and the plastic got really gnarly. So to keep it nice and flexible, I would just recommend that you just hang it to dry. But you can see, this is the simplest of the techniques. I just cut it apart, put the Velcro in, and then just Velcroed it back together. And it's ready to go, ready for surgery. And this will be the one that I wear to surgery, because it's gonna be the easiest for the nurse to help me get dressed in. So there's the third dress, and you really can't see it too much from here other than just that seam at the top. But here's the third dress, and so I have my surgery garments ready. This is a finish that I have. I love to make quilts. I just love it. And so I try for every quilt that I make to donate one to the homeless, not the homeless shelter. I have it's a nursing home just down the street from me, and it's a very clean, nice nursing home, but it's not one of the real high-end ones. And so, but like I said, don't misunderstand me. It's a not very, I was so impressed when I went inside of it. But there are some ladies out of Cresco, Iowa. It's the Cresco ladies out of Iowa, and they make quilt tops. I think it's like maybe some senior citizens. And then they send them to me unfinished. And on this one, I added this white border, and I put the binding on it. And then I used a sheet, a cotton sheet that I got from the thrift store as the backing. And then I always put a label that states who made it, that the Cresco ladies made it. They pieced it, and then I quilted it. And they're out of Northeast Iowa. And Joe's Country Junction, she does this. I'm not sure how it works. I just sent her an email. She's on YouTube, and she has a blog. But I sent her an email and said I would be happy to make these quilts. So I sent her pictures, every 3 quilts, tell her where they went, who has them, and she shares it with the ladies so that they know where their quilts went. So that's a finished quilt, but they pieced all of the interior. I just added borders, binding, and backing. And I have 2 thrift stores. I live downtown in the area I live in, and I have 2 thrift stores within walking distance. And so I just check them out on the regular for, and then of course I quilted it on the regular for, cotton sheets. It's very inexpensive to back them that way, and I already know they can take the washer, the type of water, the hot water they're going to be washed in. I always wash them before I take them. And so that's just a little way of giving back for, the way God's blessed me. I mean, in the Bible, so often he speaks about give to the poor, give to the widows, give to the orphans, give to them, take care of them. And Jesus spoke about that so much. And so it's, try to find something you can do to help someone else. And for me, this is joy to do this. So, that's just some food for thought. So I showed you these blocks last week, and I decided I am going to do a bright yellow border, a small, like a 1 to 1.5 inch border around the quilt when I get it pieced. And well, it's a small border. And then I'm going to put this as a large border around the yellow. So it's going to be kind of like this around it, and I think it's going to look really good. This one does. Let me see if I got a block that has some of the bright color. Here's one. Well, this one doesn't really either, but we'll see. So it's going to look kind of like this. And, I'm looking at it now, I don't like the yellow on it. So, I don't know. This yellow may not end up on it, but I had ordered it, and it came in. I think I got this from Missouri Star. Well, one I got from Fat Quarter Shop, one I got from Missouri Star. So, we'll see. But I got that for the border. I've already got the backing. I got another little, this was on sale. I like 10-inch squares. Not that I quilt with, not that I use them in a lot of my piecing, but because I can get a lot of I can cut a lot of different shapes out of them. And this one had so many different colors, dots and stripes, and things that I can use when I'm piecing It's just all dots and stripes, and I loved it. I was like, look at those gorgeous colors. And so I purchased this. It goes from grays all the way to the white. And so it was really pretty. I think I got it for $20 maybe. And you know, a fat quarter of this would probably be $60 to $80. So if you can get 10 inches of it, you know, you get a 10 by 10 instead of a 18 by 20, it's still enough to do a lot of piecing with. And so I got that. And I also got, this is what pulled me in. Missouri Star had some of their 108s on sale. I think I paid about $25 a piece. This is enough to do a king size quilt that's, you know, 108 or less. And so I got this one. It was about $25 because I got the 20% off discount, and I think they were $28.99, something like that, with 20% off. I got this color because these are colors I use a lot: cranberries and greens and grays. And just another one. I don't have anything specific. I thought that this would match a quilt that I'm doing, and guess what? It didn't. So, oh well, it is what it is. But these will go in my stash because there will be other quilts that it will match. I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to show you this week. Well, in my next video, I'm working on a baby quilt that is a sampler. It's a sampler. And I'm going to be stitching on my Moxie, and I'm going to show you guys some of that work and how I stitch out quilts and show you how the Moxie works, because a lot of people are interested in the Moxie. I'm going to show you my fabric hammock. I'm going to show you how I wear my throat space on my long arm, and so I think it'll be something that a lot of you will enjoy if you like to watch free motion quilting. Because I don't have, you know, this is personal preference. I don't like pantographs because to me they're not organic. I guess I like the way when you're free motion quilting, you can move into corners or spaces or blocks, and with pantographs, it's just the same design over and over and over and over, and I don't like it so much. It's just a personal preference. Nothing against people who love pantographs or who love computer stitching, because it stitches it out perfectly. But there's nothing in my life that's perfect, so I guess maybe that's why I don't like it so much. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. I hope to be back soon with some quilting for you. Take care. Thank you so much for all of the nice comments. And I want to give you a couple of sites that you can look at, some other channels. I'll put their channels in the description as well. One is Elizabeth Quilts. She has a great channel. She does a lot of quilting. She shows you her quilt. She has a Moxie. She also quilts on it as well. She goes through the cutting out process, a lot of different things. So you'll really enjoy her channel, Elizabeth Quilts. There is another one that is called Jean Kept in Stitches. And Jean is a worker. She works her channel. She does a live every week. She has a Tip Tuesday every week. And she has another session where she shows you how to do things. I mean, she just does a lot. All of these girls do a lot. Don't misunderstand me. And I also have my hobby home. And this is Kathy. And Kathy, she and Elizabeth both work a full-time job, and they put up more content than I even think about putting up. So another one, Kathy is new to quilting, relatively new. I've been quilting for decades. I think she started quilting in the last couple of years maybe, and I am just amazed at how well she's doing. I mean, just fantastic. She does some other projects as well. I think you'll enjoy her. And then, because my grandfather was a quilter, and I know that is my great-grandfather, I know that it's where I get my love of sewing and quilting from. It is not from my great-grandmother, even though she showed me when I was about 5 or 6, I wanted to sew so bad, and she would take little white pieces of cloth, give me a needle and a thread, and my grandfather's shears, and tell me to make little handkerchiefs by hand. And I bet I made thousands of handkerchiefs. I didn't even know there were fabric stores. I had no idea you could go and buy fabric. And when I was about 16, my mother did most of the shopping. We didn't really go with her that often. And when I was about 16, she took us shopping, and I saw the fabric department in the bottom of the belts. And I was so amazed. And she had a sewing machine my dad had got her. She never liked sewing. And I made my first skirt, my first reversible skirt. And it was brown on one side and a beautiful yellow with white on the other side. Yellow with little white flowers on the other side. And I just loved that skirt. And I made it, and I'm sure my grandmother probably helped me with it, but long story short, I got my love of sewing from my granddad, my great-grandfather. And so, in honor of him, I want to give you a guy who is a quilter to look at, and that is Quilting in the Man Cave. His name is Rob. He is an RVer. He lives in the RV full-time. And he has a love for animals, just a beautiful love for animals. And he recently lost his brother, so he was off for a little bit. But he's just a really nice guy, and he's always recommending that you give to shelters, take care of the homeless animals. And so I think you guys will love him. He does a lot of string quilts. And I'm actually going to email him because I mentioned something to him a while back, and I think he missed it on his channel. So I'm going to email him about this little thing I want to do for him. But y'all can check them out. I'll have some more for you next week. If you'd like to do alterations, you might want to look up Just So Darn Fun. She is a lady who shows you how to do alterations and things like that, so you might want to check her out as well. I'll put their links in the description. If you have any questions, you can always email me at sewstitchquiltwithmarty@gmail.com. I hope you guys have a great day. And if you have someone who taught you how to sew when you were little or growing up, tell me who it was in the comments, because at some point, there had to be a reason why you became a quilter or why you became a sewist. What was it? I always like to hear those stories. So thank you guys for keeping me entertained throughout the week. And thank you for sharing some of your time, your precious time with me today. I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you soon. Next time I'll be at the lawn barn. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.